All right, we are live on YouTube. We're a minute early. How we all doing today? Appreciate you all being here. I'm roadside, and we've got a special guest with us today. We'll be starting soon. I know it's a minute early. We got the Matster here, right? I know Morgan said he was in the waiting room, so I'm assuming he's live. I don't see everyone, but I'm sure that when the time is right and we get into the interview, he'll be made he'll unmute himself and join us in. But hey, listen, what a week it has been. It is 11:30, so let's get this started. Congratulations to all the people who got their first commission check this week. What a week. And it's also the 15th of the month was yesterday. So it was also residual week or residual day. Anyone getting a residual paycheck, yesterday was the day it was issued. So we've got weekly checks going out. We got monthly checks going out, all kinds of good stuff happening. And congratulations to all of you. I will say that this was one of the best weeks I've ever had in DAC. I was in Greenville, South Carolina, working on some things with Wade and others, and some of our supplier partners. And I'm thrilled with how the week went. I'm really looking forward to unveiling some things in the very near future. So there won't be a whole lot of details given on that today, but I will hint a couple things. But most importantly, today we've got the Matster. And he's our agent of the month, and we're going to be interviewing him and going to Q&A. What I'd like you to do before I go over this week's updates and the top 10 producers, the top producers of customer acquisition and recruiting, and give you a couple hints on what's going on, before I get to Matt, I'd like you to think of some questions you have for him. If he was your enroller, or if we were all sitting down having an iced tea together in a hotel lobby, like I'm sitting in right here, side of the freeway, or if we spent the weekend together on a DAC cruise and you had an opportunity to have a brunch with Matthew, what would you ask him? What questions would you ask about his daily method of operation, about how he handles different things, or he's living on the phone, right? He's doing DAC strictly from the phone. He's also helping new agents become service star. So he's not just approaching clients and having success with that. He's also helping to lead a team. So before we get into that, I want you to actually think, what question would you have? I don't want it to be where there's crickets when it comes time to Q&A, because we got a valuable resource. He's investing his time, and we don't want it to just be where you're too polite to ask. Just be bold enough to ask, because if you're thinking it, others are thinking it, and we need leaders to ask the questions so that, there can be great value. With that said, let me give you a couple updates. Number one, status updates that come from our customer finance partner, Enable, have always been stage updates you get an email on. Now, I'm talking about customer finance, no other product, just customer finance. When they move stages from filled out a form to spoke to client to quote given to training set up to signed up, whatever it is, you get an email. And if you weren't getting an email, then you could assume no progress was being made. Well, as of this week, as of Wednesday, we instituted a better updating process where anytime there's a note added to the system, you're emailed now, rather than just when the status code changes. Why is that important? Because we had numerous requests of people saying, hey, can you give me an update on my client? They signed up, 5 days ago, and they say they haven't heard anything. Or they signed up 5 days ago and I haven't heard anything, so I don't know what's going on. And then we look in our status code and we see left voicemail, sent email, no response from client, or talk to client's wife, said client will call me back. Those are notes, but the status code didn't change. And so rather than assuming something's not being done, we've got those status codes. Usually it's people don't know we're trying to call them, and we are. So it's good that you see that as well. That way you can help, because we get 1 week of calls. That's it. They're not going to call more than a week. So if they're calling and calling and calling for a week and they don't get a response, They're moving it into a drip campaign, email only, and they were counting on us to go back. That no news means get on the phone with your client and move them forward again. Filling out that form does not mean we're going to call them forever, right? That they may have kicked the tires and decide I don't want it. They're not telling us that. And many times you as an agent know something and we don't know it. You know, my client decided they didn't want the funding and we don't know. We're still calling them for a period of time and emailing them. So these status updates help for your knowledge and for a better experience for your customer, especially when they call you and say, I haven't heard anything. And then you go, I got a status code that you were called yesterday at 3:00 and left a voicemail, and we've been trying to call you for a week, but your voicemail's full, whatever those type responses are. So that's effective as of Wednesday. That went live. So you should start seeing notes on those. Now, your old clients that are over 2 weeks old, I wouldn't expect notes on there. Those, if they never answered, never replied to call, you call them back. You got your email, call them back and say, hey, you never responded. Assume they got several phone calls, and see if they want to be engaged again. And if so, get them engaged in the process again. So that's status update number one. Status update, or agent update number two. Let me pull this up here. I got a couple of them before we go to our interview. Healthcare. So healthcare, we talked at length many times about a licensed required product coming forward, and also potentially a non-licensed required entry-level healthcare product. We had these things all ready to go, and with our renewed focus that we're going to be launching here, these don't really fit that. But when I say they don't fit, there's services that we can market, but they're not going to be part of our focus. They're going to be products that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the license required supplement to the Agent Resource Center for anyone who went out and got licensed. You can make money on this product, and it helps you sell our current healthcare. Our current healthcare has some holes, and one of them is someone has a heart attack and they need big expenses, or someone gets cancer and they need a lot of coverage, or different things that maybe are above the entry-level healthcare plan that they got. So we wanted to come out with these license required supplements to piggyback on top of DAC healthcare as a big supplemental. But you got to be licensed to sell them. And some of our agents went and got licensed. So we contracted with a company where you can get appointed and you get paid directly from that company. We're going to put it in the Agent Resource Center. We're going to train on it next week. And you can learn more about that if you did go out and get licensed, or if you're a licensed health insurance agent, you'll be able to market that. Now, if you're not licensed, it doesn't matter. You can't earn money marketing this, and you can't even promote it. So it's really, we're going to get a pathway for the licensed people to go get their hands on this great product to help them sell the current DAC healthcare. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we're also going to put a $99 healthcare plan into the offerings that is non-license required, and it's an entry-level DAC healthcare below our current healthcare. It doesn't cover any coverage in the hospitalization, stuff like that. What it is it is a $99 product for an individual. There's a family plan and that's such as well. And we'll be giving you the details later. This is just a unveiling of it. That gets you virtual doctor visits, 24 hours, 7 days a week, teledoc type thing, but it's not teledoc brand. It's virtual doctor visits, also urgent care visits for a very low price. So it gets you your urgent care and your 24-hour doctor visits. It also gets you some other discounts on pharmaceutical and labs and things like that. It'll be $99 a month. There will be QV, BV, and all that, and we'll share that in the future. That's all going to be released next week. But just know that those two products, we're going to put them into our offerings before we launch our updated focus. Now, I hemmed and hawed. We almost weren't going to launch these at all and just say, sorry, we've pivoted. We're not going to launch those products because it's not going to be our focus after they launch. But we've already done all the work getting them ready to launch. We've already done all the work partnering with all the organizations. And So rather than just scrapping all that, we decided to launch it. We're going to support it, of course, and they're great products. But you're going to see when we launch our I'll call it DAC 2.0, there's going to be a focus on customer finance and business capital. That will be our focus. 100%, that will be our focus. We'll have the other things, yes. But that will be our focus, and there's good reason for it, and there's benefits for doing it. So we're going to put the DAC license required relationship in the Agent Resource Center for all of you who went and got licensed or happen to be licensed, so that you can help sell the DAC healthcare if you're focused on that. Some of our agents are focused on it. We're going to have the non-license required package that sits a little bit more of an entry level compared to where the DAC healthcare is now. So you got DAC healthcare here. You're going to have this entry level, which is only $99 for an individual available. So it's a stripped down, no real coverage. But when you take that 99 with the supplemental, those two things combined cover most people who don't have any health issues. You know, if you're worried about what if I have a stroke, or what if I have a heart attack, or what if I end up having skin cancer and I'm only 28 and I didn't expect it, or whatever, that's what the big supplementals are for. They're for accidents, or, you know, what if I bust my ankle riding a mountain bike and I'm otherwise very healthy and I don't have health insurance, but you got this $99 plan that covers your doctor visits, your urgent care, and all that. And then you got an accident policy through the supplemental. And all of a sudden you're more coverage than you need at a real low price, far lower than health insurance type thing. So that was the strategy. We were going to have a $99 strip down plan, doctor visits, teledoc type stuff, urgent care visits, very low price, pharmacy discount, because that was good, but it didn't have you covered if you had a major catastrophic thing. So bam, launch a catastrophic coverage, piggyback those together. This catastrophic coverage, you must be licensed to sell. Okay. So we're not promoting that to through agents, but if you are an agent wants to market those combined, you can market the non-license required, and we're going to have a place in our Agent Resource Center where your customer could sign up for the supplemental plan with a licensed agent, but you don't earn on the supplemental part. You'd only earn on the $99 part. This will all be released in a separate training in the future. It's not the purpose of today. This is an update call. But just know that we are going to bring those to market. We're going to launch them next week, make them available for all of you. We'll have some trainings on them. But quickly, they will not be the focus. It may be your focus, and it's going to be fine. And it's great products, and people can use them. There's good QV and BV and retail profit and all that. But the focus is going to be customer finance and business capital. Well, David, I love payment processing. Keep leading with it. Keep doing all you want to do. But you're going to see our recruiting system, everything we're going for is those two things. If that doesn't speak to you, we're apologetic, but we're not apologizing. We're empathetic that it doesn't, but we're not apologizing. We are picking a track that we're going to race down, and we want to be number one on that track. And it will include same day funding. It will include some neat triggers in the compensation plan, neat ways that you're paid, different things to improve what you can earn, how fast you can earn it, what you're doing when you're recruiting someone. So we're very, like I said, I've not been this thrilled in a decade about my business and what I want, what I'm bringing to markets. So that's how excited I am based on my experience in this industry. So with all that said, that's the agent updates. Okay. Enable notes, customer finance notes are going out. Status updates on notes. Healthcare going to be added to the supplementals are going to be added to the Agent Resource Center. $99 plan coming at DAC Healthcare. And some neat stuff coming in the very near future. With all that said, Morgan, if I could turn this over to you, I can't view the top producers very easily here. I'll watch them as you go over them, and then we'll bring Matthew on.
You got it. All right. Top producers, I will go ahead and start with new agent enrollment. This is for the week of April 8th to April 14th. So in 5th place, we have a 4-way tie. We've got, and this is for 2 agents enrolled for the week each. So Stephen Thomas out of California has 2. Makisha Shaw out of Texas has 2. Latika Johnson out of Illinois has 2. And Matt DuHaime has 2 as well. In 4th place with 3 agents enrolled, Eugene Clapp out of Florida. In 3rd place, James Cook out of North Carolina has 4 agents enrolled. In 2nd place, RT Funding Pros, which is Elizabeth Franklin out of California, has 5 new agents enrolled for the week. And in 1st place, Joseph Schwartz out of Pennsylvania with 9 new agents enrolled for the week. Awesome, awesome.
Well done, team. A lot of familiar names on there and a lot of new ones. Great job, great work. Take care of those people. Lead them right. Lead them right, everybody.
Oh, let me just mute. There we go. Okay. And for client referrals for the week, we've got in 6th place, we have a tie. Amber Butler out of Louisiana and Dwayne Thomas out of Georgia both had 5 client referrals for the week. In 5th place, another tie, we've got Lorna Williams out of Texas and RT Funding Pros, which is Elizabeth Franklin again out of California, with 7 client referrals for the week. In 4th place, Tamarka Torres out of Michigan with 8. 3rd place, Shannon D. Smith out of Virginia with 10. 2nd place, Shante Roddy out of Ohio with 51. And a new 1st place is Narissa Spencer out of Florida with 58 client referrals for the week. Awesome job.
2 of them with over 50. Holy cow. Way to go, ladies. And they were both women, right? Did I hear that right?
Sounds like it.
Who hit number 1? Who surpassed Shante to be number 1?
It's Narissa Spencer out of Florida, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's a new name that I've seen. So.
Welcome. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm plugging in here. I realized my laptop's about to go, so sorry for the distracted scramble for my power cord in my car. Well done, ladies. Well done, gentlemen. The numbers continue to go up. By the way, we're supposed to start getting some SBA responses. I'm sorry, some funding notices from our providers this coming week and next week. So that's good news. We'll start being able to upload QV, BV, and commissions on those, hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks. But we should start getting notices. We were told we'd start getting notices mid-April. So that means about now. So we haven't got any yet, but we're anticipating them. But great job, top producers. Well done, all of you. Let's give them a hand. Everyone give a hand. And we will email those out to everybody in the weekly updates. But now let's go to what we've all been waiting for. The superstar. Matthew, if you can unmute yourself. For those of you who had the opportunity to watch Matt's original Agent of the Month interview, that goes into his background a little more, his story. And so we're not going to spend as much time on that this time. You've all had a chance to, hopefully had a chance to already watch that. If not, go back and watch that. But this is his 2nd time being the Agent of the Month. We had an Agent of the Week. He was at it one time too, but the Agent of the Month started back in August, I believe. And he's won it one time before, been nominated and selected. And he was nominated and selected again for this month, the month of April. Why? Well, because anyone who follows our company for any length of time knows why. But we measure certain things. We measure personal client production. We measure recruiting and leadership of those recruits. We measure doing it the DAC way. We measure the attitude and a lot of things behind the scenes. And all of those things, Matthew DuHaime checks the box on. Not only is he always leading in client acquisition, he's also been recruiting very well and helping people. I think he had 3 people, personally enrolled people, break Service Star last month. So he's not only just enrolling new agents, he's helping them qualify too with the service star designation, which means they've gotten some customers and built a team. So he's leading them that way. He's always taking calls and answering people's questions on here. He loves to help others. He's offered to me privately several times to do special trainings and private trainings for anybody. He really does care about doing it the DAC way, doing it right. And all of this he's done while living in a different, same continent, but different country. I think it's the same continent. I guess I don't remember geography very well, but he's in South America and he's a long way from here. But that's the good news about technology. It takes and it makes the world a lot smaller. And we're so proud to have him part of the DAC family. He's been here for a couple of years and he's been dedicated the entire time. We're so proud to have him. Matthew, are you unmuted, buddy? Can you join us?
I am unmuted. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you and you look great.
Really?
What a background.
Already married.
Matthew's been recovering from a cold over the last 48 hours, but he looks great right now and you sound great. So you're ready to go. You're getting some of that vitamin D out in the sunshine.
Ready to roll, baby. Yep. Bump up that D3 level, you know? There it is. That's why we don't get colds in the summertime generally. It's that UVB rays. So here we are again. David, I really appreciate, you know what? The call this morning was pretty funny. He was driving up, back up from Greenville, right? I figured about where he was. Yeah, I said about by Cincinnati. You know, guy loves to drive. I don't. I could be in the car, but 3.5 hours. I'm like, I'm out. But no, I really can't believe that. I shouldn't say that. I do believe. I can say that I anticipated what was coming, and I don't know how, but I just kind of sensed it instinctively, intuitively. You know, when you start with something, and I thought the theme today, I just want to, you know, Q&A with everybody. I want everybody to understand that I'm a work in progress. So are you. That's the theme. Don't try to be like me. Don't try to be like Wade Cordell. Don't try to be like, you know, Mark Beauchamp. I mean, be the best you can possibly be. And, you know, that thing about the superstar coming off the shirt and everything, you know, that may seem corny, but it's funny. There's something inside of each of us. You have just your potential. It's all there. Just all those BS fears and that apprehension, anxiety, all those things that are external influences that people have given you, right? That idea that you're too this, you're too that, you're not enough this. Forget it. Put it aside and focus on the best part about you. I said this during our last interview, David, which was, you know, find the good in yourself and you'll see it in others, right? It seems to be that general theme, you know, as long as you realize that you're a child of the Creator. God loves you, you know, and regardless of, you know, your past or your circumstances, you know, we're all blessed and gifted with every day, day by day, another opportunity to transcend what came before. It's not your fault, right? It's not your, you know, necessarily. Sometimes you should take responsibility, you know, for let's see, failing to do what you might have should have done or whatever, and made an excuse for. Well, change it today. Today's another opportunity. It's a gift. It's a blessing. So, sticking this out with DAC, I'm going to be Jordan Peterson today. Sticking it out with DAC is going to turn into everything that you could imagine. I got a feeling that what he's saying and what's coming is because it's a good tree. I mentioned this. I just sensed a good tree is going to bear good fruit. It necessarily takes time. It's kind of like the analogy of your clients. My son Nick, you know, he understands. Mentioned it to you, David, today. It's patience. Patience with yourself, patience with the process, patience with you know, people around you, which is the hardest thing for me. I have no patience with people, and that's been my issue. Okay, and I'm working on that one, Ben. That's my big thing. That's my work in progress. So, but if you have patience with this process, which it doesn't seem like it. Oh, where's my result? This doesn't work. Bye. Jump to the next thing. Try that. This doesn't work next. No. Invest in yourself. And everything seems to be falling in place here like I kind of thought it would. And I can't wait to participate in it. Now, I just rather than talk about me, I'm a, you know, gifted person. So everybody's gifted, right? You know, the gift of discernment comes to those that seek the truth. I've got to share that uh, parable from the Bible. It's so true. If you want to know the truth about something, look at the truth in yourself, that thing, and the gift of discernment. You see, okay, I see how this helps a business owner, and now I see what I have to do to help them. It's like it all comes together once you're honest with yourself. Truth. To know yourself and be honest. It's okay. Oh, I'm not as outgoing as you, Matt. Okay, that's cool. Neither am I. To be honest with you, I was shy. Some point in my life, I was intimidated walking through the halls in high school. I don't know why. I had long hair then, but it was something I came to grips with in time. I realized how silly I was being, how ridiculous. And don't worry about people judging you. I'm just reflecting upon what I had said last time, David, some of the key points. Don't worry. You asked me, did you concern yourself with how people thought your song sounded when you played the piano? I'm like, heck no, because I was doing it to edify God. And that's going to bring me to the next thing. Edifying each other in this company. And that includes all of us, the support staff, agents, about our support staff, everybody. Edify. Oh yeah, he's great. Oh yeah, that guy Wade. Yeah, he's fantastic. He's great. Dave. We have to edify each other. It's so important. I just want to make that point. But finding that that thing about yourself and then building upon it. I'm not preaching. I'm like a work in progress, like I said. But
Matthew,
it's fun.
You've got, obviously anyone watching you knows that you're a creative. You're a musician. You're good at communicating with people. You care. You reach out to them, and you have got drive. If you were to take and we're going to go to questions from others in a moment, but I've got a couple questions for you, unrehearsed. You go through times where you've had probably more clients get through the process who didn't take funding than anybody. Not because you get bad clients, but because you got a lot of clients, right? And a lot of them are over the phone, and you've also gotten renewals and you've gotten some other benefits from it. But what is it that can you summarize, or can you articulate in a sentence or two what it is that keeps you hungry to keep serving, even though sometimes you serve people and they're not appreciative, even though sometimes you serve people and they don't want the money, even though you serve people and sometimes they just feel wronged? How do you stay hungry, even though it's not always pie in the sky beauty?
I revisit my reason why I'm doing this.
So your reasons overcome everything, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
And you believe in DAC, you believe in yourself, you believe in what we're doing, but then you have a reason. Is it a financial reason? Is it a service reason? What is the reason that you revisit? You don't have to explain the detail if you don't want to, but what is it a heart thing, or is it a financial thing? What's the reason that tugs you forward?
Well, I want to be number one at what I do. I want to be the best that I can be at whatever the hell I'm doing.
And why do you want to be the best?
I don't know. What drives me, right? That 7 layers of stuff. The youngest is 8. I'm constantly competing with 3 brothers and older sisters, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise at the dinner table. Can you imagine?
So you want to feel like you're bringing a value as good as others, or more, or better than others?
Yeah. I mean, what could you know? You're my little brother. What do you know? Right? Well, so I just push myself to learn all about common law, all about this, all about this, and about this. And I have
some validation, validation almost.
Maybe so. Never. You know what? Did you go through that waterfall process? I really honestly didn't. But you want to do it now? Sure. I think that's what it was. But what keeps me going is that I was always, I don't know, I have that drive, the competitive drive. I just want to prove to myself that I am as good as I think I am, and I know that the Lord's blessed me. So I have to use it with great. Gifts comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
It's kind of what I'm feeling.
One of the things that I bet it's not that just from talking to you as much as I have and watching you, I bet it's not as much external validation as it is that internal drive. You look at yourself, you don't beat yourself up, but you expect of yourself to be your best. And when you're not, you're almost not validating yourself to yourself. You're almost letting yourself down. And
That's actually what drives me. That's actually funny. It's very, yeah. I don't like to lose. I don't know anybody. I just don't like losing. And I know I played baseball, right? Sports. I played ice hockey too, by the way. You know, I got that French Canadian DuHaime, right? And Scottish
Hey.
and Irish. Hey, many a fight. Only one scar on my chin here, one here, man. Everybody else got the scars, you know. Checking
you're
and
saying
stuff.
you played before they had required glass.
Never used a helmet. I had my long hair flying. They didn't like the long hair guy like Ronnie Duguay, you know. Boom. Elbow in the
Duguay, I
head.
love
Remember
it. Duguay, he played for
The
Detroit
Rangers,
for a little
man.
while.
The New
He
York
played
Rangers.
for Detroit too. He came to the Detroit too.
Yeah, I love Ronnie. I know him. Ron Duguay, you know, and he had long hair. They love to hurt that guy, but he was a fighter. He could fight, man. But anyway, no, I say sports, that competitive. Why am I mentioning? Oh, baseball. So I was a pitcher, and you know, you have the ball. You got the ball, and nothing's happened until you decide to say, "Yes, so here it comes," and kind of, you know, talk about a power trip, right? Okay, that's what it was. It was, but I didn't like losing. I didn't like to get beat by that batter. I didn't like to. I didn't like to lose. Just crappy feeling, and so I figured a way out not to lose. And playing this or doing whatever I was doing, I just figured out a way to have that. What is it? That personal freedom and that gratification that comes from knowing, okay, I didn't lose, and it's funny. Some people are never satisfied, right? I mean, you can win. That guy's a winner. He's got all the money in the world, but he's not happy because he didn't understand why he was doing it. And I am doing it really, you know, my why is because I want to be able to provide. I think I said that to those that can't provide for themselves. I mean, there are people that are lazy, but I'm talking about folks that have issues that through no fault of their own, you know, family members or whatever and stuff, and they, you know, substance abuse stuff. So I want to be able to give back a lot.
Right.
That's my motivation. But anyway, I just do this on the phone, guys. I'm in Argentina by choice. You know, I'm not like avoiding taxes or something. I go back to New Jersey. My daughter Juliet's up there. She's doing the stand-up paddle in New Bern, Emerald Isle, North Carolina. We're gonna paint that blue. And by the way, today I gotta say, David. Now Nick's on. My son Nick, he picked up the phone today when David called and said, "Is this Matt?" You know, I think he's been hanging around me a little too much, but he's got a company that's probably going to pre-qual today, and literally the name of the company is Paint the Town or Painting the Town or something. And I'm talking about painting the town blue, that area. Right?
Yes.
It's just amazing how God works. So we'll see what happens. But family's there.
You've always had the hunger. You've always had some desire, you know, from sports and other things. But you've also probably had reasons to, you know, life's not always been successful for anybody. So that hunger, you've kept it. You didn't get bitter. You didn't grow bitter. You stayed hungry. And for the people that have never been hungry, maybe there's some people on here that they've been hungry, but maybe they weren't hungry in areas that involve finances or sports. Maybe they're hungry and becoming the best artist they could become, or best mom, best brother, best father, best whatever, babysitter. It doesn't matter. We all take pride in something at some point, right? How do you recommend someone apply hunger to this business who's inactive today? Because we know we have a lot of people who say they want it, but when it comes time, they're just not hungry enough to do. They stay intimidated, or they stay lacking in belief or confidence. What do you recommend other than focus on that reason why? Do you have a recommendation?
Okay. So unlike most things that you're used to in your life, I turn the faucet on and the water comes out. Wash my hands. I put the button on and, you know, the air conditioning comes on. Action result. Instant gratification is the subconscious conditioning that our species has grown. This is my theory. I think this may be valid, maybe not. but you're asking me, so I'm going to
I
give
like
it a
where you're
shot.
going. I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
give a
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot here. I think because of that conditioning, subconscious conditioning, and the stimulus reaction response thing that goes on because of convenience, necessity. The world is all about convenience, right? Everything's changed to make it easier. Making something easier doesn't necessarily make you better or society better, guys. You think about it. Let me go back to this. Bring me back to this. Power goes off in the house the other day. The other night, I don't know, second bad infrastructure. But anyway, whatever. Lightning storm, out, power, boom, out. I love it. Oh, man. Break out the candles, break out the Bible, break out the guitar, sit in the backyard, look at the stars, and reflect. We don't have time to reflect. And in this stimulus constantly, God, reaction. Oh, stimulus, got my gratification, got my thing. Doesn't work, this doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work, this doesn't work. Back to DAC, doesn't work, right? It's only because your conditioning says it doesn't work if you don't obtain a result because you offered some input. It's not the way it works. And that's the way nature works. It's not the way anything works in God's creation. So, like I said, a work in progress is the theme. Funny how we came back to this. I believe that because of our by no fault of your own. No, I'm saying blame yourself. Oh, I guess I'm. No, you're. I'm saying you're a victim either. You're a consequence. You're in the middle of something that you just have to be aware of. You just to become conscious of the fact that it's awareness, self-awareness. A lot of people lack awareness of many things, but most importantly, themselves. I won't tell you
the creature of habit in us, in other words, is conditioning. If we're not getting a good response right away, then it must not be the right thing for us to be doing. Wow.
Exactly. Well,
wow.
Do you think? No. I mean, yeah, maybe.
Wow.
So,
no, that's. I've not heard. I've got my own theories on a lot of things, and I've never heard that answer, and I agree. I think that's fabulous. I watch people. I'm worried about my youngest girls and their phone growing up with an iPhone from the time they're in second or third grade, and for communication for parents. But there's a thumb. I've told you about my friend who's the CFO of Quicken. He said they call it thumb time. They got like 2.3 seconds to make an impression on you because you're slipping through. And if you get that impression, dopamine hits. I mean, it's very addicting, the dopamine response. So, wow, that's good, Matthew. That's really, really good. The instant response. I was talking to a guy this past week. He's helped thousands of clients monthly get funding. So we're not talking about someone who doesn't have raw data to measure. Phone rooms of 200 to 300 people with 3 to 4 clients a day. So we're talking big numbers of data to prepare. And they say it's not a matter of if someone needs funding. It never is. It's always a matter of when. Every business owner in that 80% category needs funding from us eventually. And if we have an instant gratification mindset and not an investor mindset, when you're making that call, you're investing into a relationship that 8 months from now, 3 months from now, 3 days from now, 6 weeks from now, or 3 minutes from now is going to be a funding. If you don't have that mindset, boy, and that's what he said. And now you're saying this instant gratification, those two things don't match, do they? Mm-hmm. And so we got to educate people that you're not trying to get a yes today. You're just like when you plant a tree in your backyard, no one expects anything that year, grapes or apples or anything. It's 5 years from now before you're going to see an apple on that apple tree. And so it's the same thing with this business. Good stuff, Matthew.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm going to go to questions from other people. That I just got a lot out of that right there. Everything you've said. I do have to report this. I'm glad Morgan's here. I'm regretting to say I've got my laptop plugged in to my power cord while sitting here, but it's not charging my computer. I'm down 30% since we started talking. So I'm going to go to Q&A right now. If I'm kicked off, Morgan's got it. She can keep calling the questions and I'll watch later, but I don't want to miss. So let's get into the first question. I see Amy's got her hand up. I see PK's got her hand up. Morgan, you're going to help me with this, but let's go to Amy first. Amy Bozen first. What's your question for Matthew?
Hello, I am in the car, so I'm going to stay on video. I'm going to Oklahoma City for the Boss Babes. And hi, Matt. And
Hi.
I just started sending emails to business owners, and I'm new to the David Allen Capital, actually doing action. And someone had asked me a question like, what are the rates? And I know we don't do rates, but I just want to know that that I'm confident that I'm providing them a service. And I know, David, you talk about if they can get a loan from a bank, do it, they'll get a better rate per se. But that, if I do the number crunching or whatever, it's like 16 to 25% a rate compared to, a bank rate. But understanding that it's a no collateral, unsecured, cash capital. I'm just looking at that I'm doing something that's, ethical, and you know what I mean? Like that I know what I'm providing to business owners so that I'm confident that I'm providing them a good service that they need.
I understood your question. I'm going to repeat it to make sure that I did, though. I'm not going to assume that I did. Confirm that I understood your question in a second. You're saying that you want to make sure, because you're a decent human being, you don't want to offer something that might be hurting somebody or might be unethical. And if they could get it somewhere else cheaper, you don't feel that you should be offering it unless you know it's a good solution for them. Is that a fair statement as to what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. So what my response to that is, Amy, you're going to just permanently, this is going to embed inside your subconscious permanently. Ready for this? Here it goes. If they can, you tell them directly, hey, if you can get funding from the bank, you should. It's going to be cheaper unless you can't wait. Why did I say that? Same thing. Number one, PK is one of our agents of the month, a resident commercial banker who has been on the other side of that fence. And she's going to tell you and confirm this. I'm sure she's on the queue. They don't lend to small businesses unless their credit is fantastic and they're willing to risk collateral that if they have or don't have. So as we've just know this, 20%, and look at the pie chart, 20% of 100 leaves 80%. We're the solution for 8. Let's just say, if you want to be very conservative, just say 7 out of 10 businesses, but it could be 8. Just know that 75%, that's 3/4 of all small businesses cannot get a bank loan for their business. Just know that, understand. At any rate, my dad used to say at any rate, they can't get a bank loan at any rate. So if they have a better solution, they should get it. I told my son just today, I said, we were talking to a business owner about the rates thing again. We revisited that. I said, you'd be stupid. He laughed. My client was laughing. I said, you'd be stupid to borrow money from us if you can get it cheaper anywhere else. And he started laughing. Of course he would be. Do it. Try. Unless you can't wait means, number one, banks take a month or more sometimes to say, oh, yes, you give us some more documents and another hoop and a loop to jump through. So, Amy, you've got the best solution for 8 out of 10 business owners, and tell them if you can get bank rates, which these are not, unsecured funding, without all the risk to the lender, unsecured funding in a matter of days, it's going to be a day soon. Unsecured funding in a matter of days isn't cheap money, but do you have a good use for the funds? And does your benefit outweigh the cost? So if you don't have a good use for the funds, you shouldn't borrow it. Our funding is not cheap, but it's priceless if you've got a good use for it and it's going to be more valuable to you. Remember that, write that down. I think I just coined that one. It's priceless. It's expensive if you don't have a good use for it, but it's priceless if you need it and it's going to help you. done. Did that help you?
Yes, yes, that's so good. And just for clarity, unsecured means that there's no collateral, right?
That's right. So think about this. And Wade said something during one of the calls. And I really, this got me. I thought about it. Said, or David, I think it was David. Sorry. He said, let's, if they have any questions, say, hey, you know what? Let's go in business together. You and me, we got $1 million. Okay. We're going to start throwing some money on the street and give it to some businesses because we have a big heart, right? Well, no, we want to make money too, but we want to help our local community. All right. So let's just empathize with the lender for a change. Let's get on their side of the equation. All right. Am I willing to risk $100,000 on this pizzeria that's only doing $30,000 a month in revenue without any guarantee of getting that principal back? Forget the interest. I mean, you might get 10,000 on top of that 30 or 15 or whatever, but just getting that 30 back. Are we willing to risk $30,000 to help a pizzeria that doesn't know us? That's not my brother. I'm not sure. Let's go take a look at their cash flow. I don't know. Okay, well, we're willing to do it, but it's going to cost you this much. All right. Take it or not. We're not forcing. We're not selling money. We're giving this major thing called leverage or capital, which is good capital. It's going to help their business, or it's not. That's why it's not bank rates. Hey, you default on a bank loan, they take your house. Our lenders are done. I don't use the word screwed, but they're messed. You know what they are. They're out. They're shit out of luck. I'm sorry to say that, but they give the money away. All right, 100,000, get 140 back. That seems expensive. Guess what? If it's a year term, they're not getting their principal back until 8 months. They're giving the money away, hoping this business is going to repay it. They don't.
You know what, Matthew? I was given some numbers this past week, and we've heard default rates and all that, but these queues of money, okay, which camera on this? I'm on my mobile, so I'm not going to lose you. These queues of money, if they get 82% of their deals to pay in full, they've got a good book of business. Now, for DAC, we're far better than that. We're getting more like 95% pay in full. But if they get 82% to pay in full, they got a good book of business. Now, just think about this for a minute. You loan $100,000, okay? Now you got to pay agents like DAC a commission, okay? Call it 10 points. Now you're at 110,000 to loan out 100. 80%, and let's say you're charging 1.5, so you're going to get $150,000 back. So you're loaning 100, but it costs you 110. You're going to get 150 back, but 80% only pay back. So 80,000 times 1.5 is only 120. They're getting 120,000 back at 1.5 rate, and it cost them 110. Do you see how it doesn't take long and they're losing money? So we go, wow, you're charging 1.5. Yeah, but you realize that a lot of these deals default. And do you realize that we're paying a commission? And do you realize there's collection costs? And do you realize there's legal fees? And so eventually it gets to the point where they're like, you get a 1.3 rate. They're taking such a risk because there's so many defaults on the higher priced ones. Doesn't matter if they're charging a high price if they never collect it. Exactly. So you can see why they're very forgiving and try to lower payments and try to be adjusting, and rather than just saying we're coming after you. They're always pausing payments and things. Great point there, Matthew. Sure, we're going to go to the next question now. Good stuff, Amy. Yes. Morgan, if you could do me a favor so I don't have to look at these tiny. I know Patricia was next. If you could, after Patricia, call on the people, that'd be great. My computer's about to go, so I'm mobile only.
You got it. So next up, PK, go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say, just a little add to that, Amy. As a commercial banker, the real fact is that DAC is offering a need because a bank, it's ethical because a bank will never lend to this type of industry, ever. It doesn't fall under the SBA guidelines for a federal bank or for a credit union. So it's extremely ethical. Don't think about trying to figure out the rates, because the only thing the bank is going to approve them for is just like maybe a 5,000 or 10,000 credit card. But to Magster, oh my gosh. I just love this man. I'm not going to lie to you. He was the very first agent of the month that I ever heard. And he just really gets me motivated. And, you know, I reached out to him, and he's got a heart of gold when he says that he really wants to help and serve others, and just really look out for people that are in need. And, you know, there was some things I couldn't truly understand about healthcare, and he hooked me up with I think his last name is Levenstein, Lou Evans Levenstein, I think.
Emmanuel's son.
Oh,
Emmanuel's son, yeah.
Okay, yes. It's been that long ago since I talked to him, but what a lovely man. I mean, like Matt really hooked me up with somebody to talk to last October about that. That guy is a lovely man. I can't wait to go to Colorado, and I told him I will go out on calls with him. Just super, super. And I love that about Matt. So I love his heart. I love that it's a servant's heart. And that's what we need to be, because we really need to serve these owners that will get absolutely zero from a bank. And that's the truth. And we need to serve them. My question for Matt, man, he just impresses me. So I'm always on the phone. I'm driving right now, so I have my little coffee picture up. But my question for Matt is, because this is what really impresses him, I'm always on the phone and I'm always texting, always. But Matt's in another country. So Matt, when you're in another country and you've got somebody like a client that's just right there on the verge, and he just needs a little push, what are you doing? Do you have help? Like, does your son or family member, friends, do they go out and do like an in-person presentation for you or something? Or is it truly just you doing it 100% on the phone? I just want to know, because I just think you're amazing that I can't even picture doing it from another country. I do it all the time on text or by phone, but I can't even imagine another country. So what do you do in those cases when you're in another country and you are that person that just wants to be number one and just doesn't want to lose? What are you doing on the extra mile to get that client when you can't be there?
Take it away. Take it away. Just take it away. And listen, this may not be for you. And if you don't have good use for the funds, don't borrow it. And all of a sudden they'll start thinking of reasons they do need it. And they'll find excuses to figure out or justify or rationalize their decision. The psychology of, taking something away. I don't know. I mean, is there an advantage of being in person? Suppose. But your comp, PK, thanks. I really appreciate I'm impressed with you. I can't wait to meet you and everybody up there. I'm not getting a vaccine passport. So I just want you to all know that I will not go there, but I'm healthy. But I want to tell you that I really feel that each has its own advantage. You're going to make me say this. Okay. So in person, you're there, you're legitimate. You either believe in what the heck it is you're offering and people see it, or do something else, because they're going to see right through you. You could get away with it sometimes, but all in all, in the long run, they see it a mile away. Somebody from the country, city cat or country fox, this doesn't matter. People know, they've seen it all, they've heard it all. If you're genuine, you feel it in your heart, tell them. But if they're on the edge, to answer back to your question, if they're on the edge and think they might do it, take it away. Take it away. You know what? Maybe this isn't for you. You should probably consider whether or not you have a better use for the funds. Maybe later, unless you can't wait. And and then at that point, they're starting to think, wait a minute. Oh, you're not trying to sell me? No, I'm trying to help you. Oh, that changes the entire dynamic of the. Does that make sense? The entire dynamic of your relationship with them. And I know it's hard. I'm going to relate this to what you're saying back to instant gratification or looking for a result, right? I mean, I'm not saying that in that scenario, but don't, and somebody mentioned this, Dawood, very smart fellow, by the way. We got a lot of great people that saw the opportunity or going for it. They're going to be very successful here. I know it. And he mentioned about, oh gosh, he had just lost the train of thought. God help me. But he said something that's very profound that I learned, from everybody here. And it relates to that idea of having a full-time job. That's what it was. Don't do this. Don't cut your substance, don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to get a funded deal or you have to get it. I'm I'm living in a country that's, much, much cheaper than living in New Jersey. Okay, let's just put it that way. And if I got a bank account there, I don't have to produce as much to maintain a level of comfort, all that stuff. Don't you put yourself in a position where it's do or die. Sink or swim. Oh my gosh, I got to do DC. You're going to come across pressuring them for money. Are you going to do this? Are you going to do this? Did you fill the prequal? Did you do it? No. They see it. They're like, whoa, back off. You're too, I don't want to deal with you. So get into the modality of planting the seeds in that big farm and having some sustenance. This is not an easy business to do if you're relying on it, all right, on income, but it will be something that you can rely upon that will continue to generate income where you don't have to do that full-time, that job, that thing, right? So just to say, when you're there in person, and you have the opportunity part-time to do this, get the drop cards, meet, greet, inform. Hey, I'm going to say it. I love it. Hey, is this your, you got to be like, confident. Hey, is this your landscape truck? Oh, you're the owner? Great. Hey, I just want to introduce myself. I help landscapers. You may not need this now, maybe down the road, but banks don't help. We do. Would it be okay if I just gave you my card here and check this out? Yeah, thanks, man. Cool. No problem. Nobody's going to object to that approach. They're saying, I sell money. Here, if you need it, this is what we do. We're great. This is wonderful. No, like, all right, yeah, go away. All right, sell somebody else. No. We're not selling in that sense, but you are, I hate to say this, selling the fact that you're not selling. If that can be said, and you're presenting yourself, you're always selling. I don't care what anybody says, but the term sales has got that hammer, close, bad connotation, right? So how does one present this thing part-time without expecting a result or needing a result right away? And that simply is to talk to more people, talk to more business owners, try to find a budget in your time and your schedule on the phone. Phone is great. Okay, so out of the country, I don't have to go to this there, run, hustle here, there. I was in New Jersey. I was running about, I got like 200 drop cards placed in like 2 years. I was hustling. Business. Hey, is a business owner here? No. Could you please give it to them? What's your name? Oh, Amy. Great. I'm going to follow up. Do you have his business card? Great. Next, I had a stack. I still have them. I had a stack of business cards, and I was only there for a month. I've only been on the ground in the United States in the 3 years I've been doing this. Well, 2.5 years, whatever. Is it 3 years? 3 years. Good Lord. For a month, and I got like a stack of 120, 130 business cards. Now I'll follow up with them. So no worries.
Matt, you just, by the way, can you hear me, Matt?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't know if Morgan had me muted because of the road noise. It's funny you say that. That concept about it's not if, it's when they need the capital. One of the recommendations this partner, through reviewing how we're doing it, how we're teaching it, recommended is we teach a lot more the follow-up for 2 years. You don't follow up once. You're following up over and over and over and over and over and over and over until they need capital or tell you to never call me again. But you're building a relationship, and they find they're getting more fundings from the follow-ups than the initials. And they're not just calling out of the blue. They're not just out of the blue calling. These are people that they're finding through their follow-ups. You know, the people aren't calling inbound, they're being called outbound. So that's something as you're talking about the boots on the ground and picking up the phone. Just wanted to add that to the message, how important the follow-up is.
It's everything. It's everything. It's
Thank-
everything.
Thank you, Matt. I
You're
I
welcome.
totally agree with everything you're saying. Yeah, I recently let go of an $80,000 deal, and I thought that, Wade gave them just impressive, 4 options, and, I think he just kind of chickened out at the end. And so I had to let it go. And I just said, okay, no hard feelings. I'll visit with you again, because I know that the opportunity is going to come when you're going to need this money. And I believe he's probably going to come back again September, October, when he's filing his taxes, because he's still thinking like the way a banker would, that he's got to turn in his tax returns. But I got to let it go. And I know that the money's going to come, later than need, because he's in construction. He's never going to get the money from the bank. He's going to have to do a home equity and put up his home. And so, I would just rather follow up and serve and just do it exactly the way you're doing it. And so, Matt, you know what? Congratulations. I just love you to death. You're a good brother. You really are. You're a good brother in the Lord. Congratulations to you. Well deserved. And what's his name? Quinn. He just sent me a little text. He's with his daughter visiting, and he said, hey, please tell the Master congratulations. So just wanted to let you know that. God bless you.
Thank you, PK. We love you too. And we've all prayed for you. So any other questions or moving on? Hey, thanks. I'm happy to take any and all.
All right. Next up, let me just lower PK's hand. Next up, we have Galaxy A11. So I'm not sure who you are, but
this is Torrance. How's everybody doing?
Great, Mr. Torrance.
Matt, listen, I'm at work, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to make the call, because yesterday and as well as today, I had to be here at 7 to 7 p. So I had text David to let him know, could he tell you congratulations, but I stepped out. They let us go to lunch. So I wanted to jump on real quick, man, to tell you congratulations. Well deserved, man. You have been a leader, man, since I've been in DAC, man. I've been watching you like I've watched all the leaders. And man, your example is like second to none, man. So as PK said, man, you're doing it on the phone, man. And that's to be commended, man. So you are an inspiration to me. I'm looking forward to the day where I can meet you, shake your hand, man, look you in your eyes, and just pick your brain, man, and to see what makes you really tick, man. I like doing one-on-ones like I did with David. So that being said, man, continued success, man, and thank you for what you did for me, reaching out to me, letting me know about Alignable, man. That's been working well for me as well. So again, man, congratulations, Master.
Thank you. And honoring your dad is your why. Keep it up, man. You're an inspiration too.
I appreciate that, my friend.
All right, I can't wait to meet you, but I'm gonna have to get up on a chair, I think. I'm only 5'10" and a half.
All right.
I'll see you, man. I'll give you a big hug. Don't worry about it.
All right, buddy. All right.
awesome. All right. So moving on now, we've got a few more questions. It looks like next up we have Dawu. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Matt. Thank you for doing this call. Congratulations on being the agent of the month. As I said earlier, I don't know about everybody else. I'm not interested in just being motivated or just inspired. The only thing that's going to inspire me is taking action on what's going on. I have been taking action. I have been getting responses. Some things have been going on. I'm really excited because we've been applying. Keyword is we, not I. So I do have a couple of questions for you because I've been meeting with some of my team members. It's starting to grow. I'm not like I don't know about everybody else, but one of the things that I do with my team, anybody I bring in or in my organization, I'm not interested in just bringing in people. Everybody I work with, because I'm on a full-time basis, and because I have been in this industry for so long and been in network marketing, I understood what it takes to work with people. So when you talk, when you say certain things, you in the background, I'm training on it. I'm talking about it. I was just sitting down with part of Latika, who's on fire, who's part of the top 5. Yay, I'm happy for her. But she has another team on top of that that I just did a training with, and applying some of the things that you talked about walking through with the clients. I was talking with them. I was like, okay, this business is about just referring. Don't make your life complicated. Now, I also applied the same information that, hey, this is about working the business as a side job, working as using it as your pocket time. Every time you go somewhere, open your mouth, say something, take some information down. It's all about making time work for you instead of you working for time. But the main thing is that just be a master at referrals. And I always, and I got the recording, I always mention, and I learned this from Matt. And one of the things that Matt said, because he's the agent of the month, I just did this Thursday and mention you. And so I appreciate you more than you know. And I know if the team knew that they was applying a lot of the things, they don't know that you indirectly trained them. So thank you for that. I have 2-part question for you. What method are you using to go after your clients? And how do you, it's actually a 3-part. What method are you using to go after your clients? What I mean is that email? Is that texting? And when you do go after them, how do you approach them? And in that approach, what intentions do you set once you approach them?
Okay,
So y'all listen.
hey man, thank you. And one of the golden things that you shared, and you bring a lot to the party, man. One of the things that you said that is so important, I led with this earlier, if you've been on this call, is got to edify each other. It's very important. And I actually really appreciate that thing that you've offered a lot already, a lot, man. Well, okay, so if I can help you any more than I have, probably don't. You're on your way, but just don't like get the mindset of you're not. I don't know the word you used. Choice of words is like attack. Okay, how do I
Going after.
Going after them. I'd rather just find a way to associate and identify for if or when. So to summarize it, here's your 3 parts in one sentence. Okay, inform, advise, for if or when, and be available. I'm available. We're available, and be credible. If you can get bank funding, you should. If you never need funding, even better. But if you have an opportunity, then we're the best solution. We're the best option for you. If you can't do this, this, and that, please keep this in mind. Would it be okay if I just contacted you or gave you my website for you to save? Thank you. Yes, that's good. Okay. So, well, they may remember you when they have that opportunity, but not likely. So therefore, follow up in 3 weeks and say, hey, we spoke 3 weeks ago. Yeah, listen, I'm not asking if you have funding now thing, but let's want to remind you, we're still available. We are still funding your specific industry with better offers. So would it be okay if I resend you the link, or actually something I should have mentioned? Always have another reason. Subordinate, right? That's called subordinate. Here's the purpose of my call. The purpose of my call is to remind you I'm here. Okay. Well, the purpose of my call is not to bother you. Hey, do you need money? Do you need money? No, no. The purpose of my call quickly is to remind you of our conversation, and I'm still here for if or when, but I may have failed to mention to you. Now, we offer a customer financing option where you can actually get paid easier by offering your clients an option to get funding to pay you without recourse or worry to you. Would you be maybe open to taking a look at that? Or could you see how that may help your business? Yeah, Mike. Oh, I don't use that. Do you do residential? Yeah, you're working with residential, contracting. Phew, they love this. Everybody loves it. Would it be okay if I send you that link to just take a look and get like a quote or a demo? Sure. And thank you. And if you do ever need funding, I'm your guy. Make sure you save my link. Have an awesome day. Well, follow up. So I just tried to merge. I just try to what is that? To integrate all of those points in one little thing for you there, man. I hope that helps.
Awesome. So what I take away from this is that you have to be, and I'm going to use I statements. So for everybody that knows, I always like to use I statements. So I take ownership of what I say. So what I got from it is that I need to follow up and be a master at it. Put some structure into my follow up. That's what I got out of it. But you do the DAC way. You follow the DAC way, and then you're just a really big master at how you follow up. I do like to say that I'm thankful for, I see that I am on the right track, because I was thinking actually doing the same thing. By the way, I meant to mention about our customer financing. I don't know if you're aware, but there's no default. If the customer defaults, there's no recourse to you.
Right up front. Tell them right up front. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Straight up, because remember, customer financing equals headache.
Hey, there you go. It's another one. Hey, Dawood, listen, man, I picked that up from you. And I'm using it. It's genius, because that's exactly the problem. They instantly, and this is not through no fault of your own, they've been conditioned to think pain, problem, don't need it. More headache than benefit. So you've nailed that one. So, man, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I got a feeling you're gonna have a massive breakthrough if you just continue to be persistent, and I know you will. You don't need it to hear it from me, but I guarantee you're going to be very successful. Keep it up.
And
man.
also to add is that one of the things I also paid attention to is, thanks also to David, when he went down and wrote about meet and greeting, and not only just how to meet, greet, and inform, but also applying how to be structured with my follow-up. The only reason why I haven't applied all of these things, so that way I can report some live activity on those actions, is because I've been busy focused on helping my team. Good problem.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. And isn't that a good positive problem to have? Guys, girls, have a lot of positive problems in your life. There's an old saying, you can replace your perceived, problems and turn them into positive problems. So, give me all the positive problems all day long, and all your real problems are going to go away. Believe me.
And last question, I don't know if you mentioned it, but just the last question was, what intentions, because I remember you trained on that. That was absolutely awesome. For context, and I like to regurgitate what you said because it was awesome. He said that whenever you get on to a call, whenever you do anything, this stuck out to me the most, because I never thought to do this, especially being ADHD. I'm all over the place. He said, set an intention when you talk to a person. So if you're going to just go in, when I go walk into a business now, I say, you know what? My intention is to get a name and number. My intention is to get some information, not just get excited about telling about DAC and here's our website. Oh my God, I hope they go to it. I hope they go to it. Ooh, I hope I did a good job. And I'm just massaging my ego because I think I did a good job, but then nobody calls. So I understood now to set an intention every single time, so that way I am getting some type of action. So my question to you is, what intentions do you set when you approach any of your clients or potential candidates?
Yeah, make a friend.
Nice.
Make a friend. Your intention should be to be a human being. Be a decent human being. I tell people the greatest, sometimes the most profound answers are the most obvious, and it's the most simple. Just be a decent person. Don't be an idiot. Don't think of yourself first. Put others first, and you earn a lot more of what you need by serving other people. Just put them first. I get a lot more gratification out of cooking a meal. I'm a chef, man. I like cooking. I like to taste it, but I want other people to enjoy it. Like, hey, you like that? Is that cool? what would you like me to do to it next time? You know, something. I like to see people happy. So do the same. Adopt that mentality. Make a friend. I want to come in here and help your business. I think I might be able to help you. So,
You know, 8 months from now, who do they want to go do business with? The person who became their friend 8 months ago, or the person who tried to sell them capital 8 months ago? Great point,
Exactly.
Matthew.
there you
And
go.
I'm just gonna leave off with this last thing. I actually applied that yesterday. One of my agents, Sonia, she was talking to a tattoo shop initially talking about customer finance. And I said, listen, I'm not interested in offering you a service. I'm interested in helping your business grow. We started politicking. We started talking about my dance group. Long story short, I'm going to help him get the first thing I'm going to help him to get the customer financing going on, some micro funding. And then he wants to be able to offer customer financing for the tools and accessories to offer it to other tattoo shops, as well as become an agent and be able to offer health benefits to any new tattoo artists because he's looking for new artists, all in one same conversation, because my intentions was to help him grow his business.
Man,
So,
Dawood, man, you're welcome. You know, blessed to know you, man. What you just said, David and I, we have the same thing. It happens in the inspiration. What you just said is so important for everyone on this call and any call you plug into. There is always something that you can help, let's say, gain from a conversation. You know, there's always some benefit or some aspect that can be beneficial to you and or the person you're speaking with. Recruiting an agent, I'll tell you what, I've got agents on my team who were business owners who didn't qualify for funding. And what am I thinking about? Well, we want to help them get money. Okay, I've got another solution for you to maybe get some subsistence on the side. Do you know business owners that you think might need capital? And rather than me making all the commission, how about you earn it? Would that be okay? What? Yeah, it's just here. You know, I make a little bit, but you know what? We're looking for agents right where you live. With the, you know, would you like to earn a little money outside of what you're doing? Because I could see you're growing, but you don't have enough to qualify for funding. Well, how about getting some money without having anything to pay back? You know, right in your bank. Okay, so there's always something, or the healthcare thing. So think outside the box is your message and that theme every time you call. So back to your intention. Your intention should be to provide a solution, make a relationship, but think about potential solutions for these people as if you're their brother or cousin or somebody, you know, your old high school friend. I mean, that's not easy to do. I don't always do it. I'm not like, I'm talking right now. These are truth. These are not BS, but I don't always do it. You know, I think maybe half the time, sometimes I remind myself, oh, that's what I'm doing. So back to your point, Dawood, I'll go to the next question. We lose our intention, and that's a good point in the process, because I got the Rainmaker Challenge here. I got to get, you know, I'm just focused on getting my follow-ups from the last year, you know, to see if they're, you know, in need of capital, whatever. And I'm coming across with that intention. Oh, I need to get 5, you know, deals funded in the next 3 weeks. Bad idea, because that's going to disable me from listening better and listening and being sensitive. That's a very good word. You know, I mean, I'm a man, but I can be sensitive, right? I mean, you know, hey, I cry, but you have to be sensitive to their needs and listen and say, oh, okay, you know what? That's interesting. Oh, I hear what you're saying. Restate what they say. Nothing gives validation, or put it this way, nothing develops credibility more instantly and permanently is if you can restate what they tell you. What does that accomplish? You care. They're listening to you. Yes, we know people don't care how much you know. Listen, restate it genuinely and say, okay, I don't think I have a solution for you now, but I might in a few, you know, maybe you should probably get a few months rolling in your business before you attempt to, you know, take on a funding, because, right? Or something like that. I know they're listening to you like, wow, you actually want to help me? I'm like, yeah. Okay, cool. Done now, maybe later. So that's awesome. So think outside the box and present all options and listen and restate their concerns or their, you know, statements. because it genuinely helps them know that you're going to be the one they're going to deal with. They want to deal with you because you listen and you're sensitive to their situation. So there you go.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
Few more questions. We've got up next, Ellen Wynn. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, everybody. Matthew, man, congratulations for being Agent of the Month again. You are such a valued asset to this entire company. DAC would not be the same without you. And I'm so proud that you and I are growing up in this business together, because you've been a great friend, you're a great mentor, and I learn something new from you every day. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the whole interview because I am out being a business owner today and had an appointment fall right in the middle of the beginning of the interview there. But I can't wait to go back and watch the replay. And I'm sure, as most of the videos that you've done trainings on, it'll be one that I go back and watch over and over again to get those additional nuggets, because we don't always hear it the first time. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 exposures before we actually see it, just like you talk about with the follow-ups, right? It takes multiple exposures to get through that business owner's mind and really create that friendship. So congratulations to you, well deserved. Again, so proud to have you as a friend. You are a true servant leader, and you do give to anyone in the team that is looking for assistance. One thing I wanted to comment on before I pass it back to you, Matt, I saw Mark Wenham post a question in the chat about equipment financing and saying, since there's not a tab available, do we not have it anymore? If Mark, if you'll scroll down to the bottom of the homepage on your David Allen Capital site, it is there on the main site. You just have to scroll down to the bottom of the page and you'll see equipment financing. Okay, Matt, back to you, the star of the day. Congratulations.
Well, if there's anything that I could teach you, that's a miracle right there. But thank you, my fellow, repeat agent of the month, and I think they probably wanted to make Ellen a trifecta, but they felt bad for me or somebody else. She could probably have been the three-peat. I just know that we're in this together, and I just know that it's smart. It may be a little selfish to be so generous of what I think would help, because I've made the commitment. I made the decision that this is it, like you did, right? And of course you gave a lot of background, and you have a fascinating, colorful, really intense business background, and your history is fascinating. Farm girl, and being beating up the boys, I love it. Tough, you're tough, Ellen. You are tough. And I wouldn't want to fight you. Believe me, I'd back down. I'd be scared.
That was many years ago.
No. I'll tell you, but I mean, I get it, and I can see it that in your nature as a fighter, and that's the really thing it makes a difference. It separates people. You've got to fight, and you've got a strong reason why you want to accomplish some objectives. But I'm learning from you a lot about organization and things. I'm observing you and seeing what you do. I really want to know more. I know peripherally what you're doing to build, the DAC business. But it's just amazing that it's a platform we have. I don't want to go on, blah blah blah. But I'm learning, and I love to share because it's us, and we have a future here. So because of that, people on here, you're a little timid, just give it a try. I'm just asking everybody who's on these Zoom calls all the time and plug it in, and maybe there's something that's going to inspire you to take action. And listen, it's worth just being vulnerable. I had to say that. You got to take a chance. I was a little kid. I was afraid of some things. Just damn it. Just listen. The worst thing can happen. My father. I'm going to end with this because Ellen's going to love this. This is my dad had a business, 8 kids. He's literally bankrupt, right? He had osteomyelitis, pretty bad. He has crutches. It's real bad. And that's when I came around. and he's selling hearing aids. He found out about hearing aids in New Jersey, going door to door. Let me give you the end of the story. He wound up being the president of the National Guild of Hearing Aid Dispensers, back 20, 30 years later, and big, huge, successful business. But what he said to me, it stuck with me, and this is for everybody. What have you got to lose? Go for it. This is how I ended my last call. That was it. David said, is there any parting words? Yeah. What have you got to lose? Chest up, chin up, chest out, go for it. What do you got to lose? You have so much to gain relative to what potential. What's the worst of it? No, shut up. Nice thing on the phone. They can't, I used to joke with my partner, they can't punch you in the face. I'm not going to say anything that's going to provoke them to violence, but what's the worst thing? They hang up. Okay. So chest up or chest out, be confident. No, right? Ellen does know because she's seen it and she's been in business and she was in, Visalis, all these companies. She sees what I see. So if there's anybody, going to gain anything from this, interview, it's that see what's coming and believe in what's coming and don't give up. Just try it. Just give it a try. You're going to be surprised. And the first time you get somebody to say, oh, wow, they pre-qual. Wow. And, you get, oh, I got paid. Great. Well, this works. Again, forget about the idea. I need instant gratification. Just try to keep applying, keep pumping that pump. David talked about the priming, the water pump on the, I think of the golf course, that old water pump. All of a sudden, boom, there's a little water. Now it's not so hard. I don't have to really work so hard, but you got to keep that water pump going. But man, it was worth it because it tastes really sweet, especially on a hot day. So thank you, Ellen. We love you.
Love it.
Sweetheart.
Great job, guys. Morgan, are there any other questions I'm not able to see?
There's one more hand up.
Okay.
It looks like, we've got a lot of questions today. It's awesome. It looks like Spence, your hand is up. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, hi. The only French Canadians I really like, though, are Michael Bossi and Brian Trottier. So I don't know what you're talking about there, Ron Duguay, because the Islanders are a lot better than the Rangers. We're in first place. I just hate to say that, but
yeah,
I had to put that in there.
Yeah,
Brian
you had
Trottier.
to get it in.
You didn't mention Brian Trottier.
He did mention Jordan Peterson, too. He's a Canadian.
Yeah. He's a
French Canadian?
No.
Oh yeah, I wanted to introduce myself. I have a few years actually in the cash advance business, MCA. I live in the New York area, and everybody and their grandmother owns a MCA company in capital, lending company in New York City area. So I work for a few different companies, and my mother is getting to be 84, so I'm kind of taking care of her. And I live north of New York City, so I really don't like commuting to Brooklyn anymore and fighting with these Brooklyn owners of the business and going back and forth about money and all that. So this is really a godsend for me, and I appreciate your business, and it's great that we could do some marketing MLM without paying any fees. I really appreciate that David doesn't require us to pay any annual fees or anything of that nature. So thank you for that. And yeah, I'm only 2 days in. I did send you guys a credit card processing client I had. My question is, I have all this social media. I'm on LinkedIn. I have about 800 contacts there. And most of them are in the financial services industry. So I was looking maybe to bring them in as a partner. But it sounds like you're mainly meeting people on the street or going door to door or just, as you go. Can you just give me a little insight about social media side and what to do? I sent out about 10 links to some people on my LinkedIn and haven't had anything back yet. That was a couple of days ago. But yeah, if you could go on, just give me a few pointers on the social media aspect. Yeah, please.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I'm from Bergen County, New Jersey, right?
Oh, okay.
Up the Hudson there.
I'm in Nyack.
Oh, I know exactly where you are in Nyack. Nanuet. I used to run the Jack Lane's Route 59 in Nanuet. So.
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
Scarsdale, Jack LaLanne's way back when. The Tappan Zee Bridge and me go way back with those windy winter nights on the ice. Remember the old Tappan Zee Bridge at night? Oh God, right?
Yes. My
That
house
thing-
overlooks the new bridge, Cuomo Bridge.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So anyway, yeah. So you and I are from the same zone, the same hood, I guess. Listen. So what? And it's funny you're not a Rangers fan. What I was going to say, I was going to say, Spence, that you're bringing something to the table to us, and it's like a buffet, right? This company David Rutt's put together offers something for everybody. You're coming over here seeing like what? There's no fee, there's no catch. People wonder why. Wait a minute, what am I missing, right? And he's done long and hard thinking about how to attract the people that see what we want to see. So that's the whole purpose of this. So you came to us somehow, right? Some other agent invited you, Spence?
Yeah, there was an ad on, I was looking for more of a remote position in capital financing and in MCA, merchant cash advance, because I'm tired. Most of the companies in New York City are in Brooklyn, and it's a long drive, and I'm tired of paying Easy Pass. And we're always fighting about the money too. I'd rather really work on my own. And I knew there was a couple of companies out there. And Thomas put in an ad on Craigslist, and I saw it, and I said, this is perfect. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm taking care of my mom. She's 84 years old, and I really need to be with her every day and not work 10-hour days and come back, and leave her that long.
Spence, so you're gonna love this, because guess what? I'll do my Christopher Walken impression. Guess what? Guess what? I'm in another country talking on the phone to businesses in Hawaii and Florida and Texas and Illinois and Maine and New Jersey, my home. So guess what? You could do that too. Stay with your mom, pick up the phone, and I approach business owners the same as if you were meeting them in person. I did a phone training because I was asked to do so on the Super Saturday. So you're just brand new. By the way, one of the benefits in being in a third world country is that the fruit truck's about to pass down. You can hear the guy with the megaphone selling vegetables as they drive down the road. What you want to do is you want to get plugged in to the training at the Agent Resource Center. Get to the Agent Resource Center, Spence, and know it like the back of your hand. Know it like the back of your hand. Go to the training number 3, the big Super Saturday. It's like a marathon, it's like 8 hours. It was 8 hours long. And I was doing the phone thing at 4 hours and 30 minutes. If you want to know what I do or the mindset that you need to adopt to be successful is to not think like the other MCA companies that you're associated with that are hammer. Oh, it's hammer. No. So David Rutz is going to launch something very soon. You stepped in it, dude. Stepped in, you know what? Because we're about to kick everybody's ass in this industry, in this space, because of the relationships and the ethical approach to this business that was from the founding. And now because of that, it's going to manifest into something that you're going to not even believe. And we're going to have a competitive advantage over all of those companies that you're getting to in Brooklyn and the Easy Pass. Forget that. You're going to be doing this from the comfort of your own home. Get on the phone, get local businesses. Yeah, they're paying, they don't want to, that's irrelevant. What's relevant is there's no barrier to entry. You can enroll, you can recruit a team. You can earn on their production by helping them and being an example, right? So this is the moment. You came in at a really great time spent. So whether you like the Islanders or not, you're still going to be a winner. How's that?
And good stuff, Matthew and Spence. Welcome, buddy. I would just add, because you asked about the social media, Kelsey Britton is, first of all, what you did on LinkedIn. We've got some social media assets that you can share. Primarily, getting the word out that you're in the space in your warm market is very effective because people will do the referrals. They'll refer you to other business owners they know. But when you share your website, your replicated website, it automatically populates a billboard image, if you will, about each of our services. So if you're saving or sharing the PPP page, it'll be a PPP image. If you're sharing customer finance, it'll be a customer finance image. So
Right.
as you share the links, your replicated link, it's already got some proven imagery in it. So you don't have to create posts or images, if you will, as long as you put your replicated site. But Kelsey's working on a social media training for people. It should be coming soon in the next couple of weeks. But until then, using your replicated link is already going to pull up imagery that we've had results with. We're always improving them, but they're very effective already. And so social posts, individual posts, and then of course there's a lot of people who use pay-per-click advertising, Facebook advertising. We don't teach that. We're still mastering it ourselves. We've
Right.
hired outside firms, Spence, to teach us how. None of them have delivered. None of them have. So we're not going to teach something that we haven't proven out. I do earn more than I'm spending on advertising, but it's still not, it's hit and miss, too much so that we wouldn't promote it yet. We won't teach it yet, but we're getting close. So for now, free social posts is what we recommend. Of course, communicating through text message or LinkedIn or Facebook messaging to build relationships. We say start with the relationship, inform them of why you're talking, of course, but 1 out of 20 times they'll need funding today, but most of the time they won't. So build the relationship for if and when they do. Hopefully that
Okay.
helped.
Yes, it did. Thank you. Thank you, Dave.
And thanks for your kind words about the company, and glad you're there taking care of Mom. We'll lift her in prayer for good health and success for you working from your home. And glad you don't have to pay that fast pass anymore. Let's go help some businesses together.
Yes, amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Matthew, if we don't have any other questions, and I can't see that, I'm going to assume that. Morgan, cut me off if I'm wrong. I just want to say thank you. This has been a joy traveling miles, listening to what you're covering. Great questions from everybody. Great compliments from everyone. I echo and I agree with all their sentiments about you, who you are, what you are to this company. You've been a great example. You've helped a lot of business owners on all of our services. So you've made a difference in the business owner community, even if they're not remembering it. There's a ripple effect of all those employees that have benefited from the funding you've gotten them, all their suppliers, all their families at home. This is a ripple effect. This isn't about our commission. You know that. You're about the mission first and your commission second. You're commissioned by God to get out there and do this. I know you know that. And so that's your ultimate commission. And we know it, you know it, and that's why your clients are benefiting from it. We're just so thankful to have you. We love how the angles and the perspective you take and you spin that apple around and you see things in ways that we wouldn't think to see them, and you're bold enough to share it with us. All I can say is thank you so much for all you are to this company. And I'm going to give you the final words to close us out today. Appreciate you, buddy.
Well, appreciate you, David Rutz. And the thing that I want to close it out with is that your intention was genuine enough to make this happen for all these people that are now coming in, that gotten in and are going to. So I want a big up for you. You're like our superstar. I mean, I'm so glad. I really feel blessed. I feel genuinely blessed that I found this. I mean, I mentioned longevity and all. I came to you through that. But we got to take care of each other, guys. You got one shot at this life, and we have to be here to support each other. Even if you don't know me, we all know each other. We're all kindred spirits. I don't care what you look like, color, skin. I don't care. I don't see it. I honestly, I genuinely know that we're all children of God. We're all we're all brothers and sisters. So let's do the right thing. I know it sounds corny, like, no, really have to do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, did you do something good? And can you live with yourself? And that's really the important question to ask. Did you do something to help somebody else? And I got to tell you, if you do that, man, there's no greater joy in life than to actually serve somebody else and see them benefit from it, whether now or in the future. And as David mentioned, You never know how many people you could, positively affect. So do it with the right intention, and do it with, with some fire. Get some enthusiasm about it, because you have a competitive advantage. Just end with this. And I'm going to say it again. You are an expert. Far more about what you do than they do. So be confident. Just be assertive, be considerate of those folks you're approaching, whether it's in person or on the phone. Yes, you're going to need, substance. You don't make a dime unless you help them. Just think about it. If you're going to be selfish, okay, be selfish in that. I can't make any money unless I make their situation better. So then, if you're just logically thinking, how can I make their situation better so I can earn money, is forget about making money and start thinking about helping them. It'll happen. So that's how I'm ending this. And I wish you all a blessed week. Let's get after it. You got 2 weeks left to get some submissions in, but follow up and follow through with these people in a considerate way, and let them know that you're a solution for them for if or when they need you. Rock and roll. Let's go, guys. Get it done.
Love it, buddy. Great job, Matthew. Give him a hand, everybody. Agent of the month, the Matster, Matthew DuHaime. Thank you, buddy. You rock.